Fake boundary number three. Oh, and I love this one. The conditional threat, where you say something like, if you do that again, I'll leave. But here's the best part, then nothing happens. They do it again and you're still there. That's an ultimatum written in invisible ink. It's not real. No one can see it. It has no weight, no value, right? It was empty in its, threat of the situation, right? And by the way, I label this a boundary, but in all reality, it's a deal breaker. Because whenever you say, hey, if you do this, I'm gone, you've crossed the line, there's no coming back from, I'm out of here, right? That's a non-negotiable, right? That's you drawing the final line, which is a deal-breaking situation. And by the way, this is also why you should never threaten your relationship or a relationship with someone unless you are fully prepared to act and move on that threat, that final declaration. Because every time you don't move on that, right, it becomes less believable that you're ever going to stand for your value the way you probably should. And second, you tear down the trust in that relationship every time if you use that as like a weapon, if you will. And that person starts to understand that whenever things go a little rough or they make a mistake or what have you, that you'll abandon the relationship as a whole for that. And so if you're still going to be there afterwards, you'd better be real careful about making threats that you're not willing to keep the promise on. But in any case, if something affects you to that degree and you say, hey, I'm out of here if you do this, and you're still there, it's pointless. Because if there's no consequence, that equals there's no credibility, right? And what's that turn into? They just ignore you when you say it, right? Yes, they may lose trust in you or for you along the way, but yeah, she always says that. She'll be back next week. Or he always gets all, ramped up like this, but he ain't going nowhere. That kind of thing happens.